It's January 2nd. I have submitted paperwork for an LLC. I have yet another bank account with very little money in it, but a full-time contract that has 5 months left on it. I have $15,000 in credit card debt, but I am confirmed to be in 9 shows so far in 2024. What the hell am I doing? I'm starting a small business, baby, from the ground up. I'm going to have the goal of being a full-time artist that makes a living salary completely on my art and content. And as long as I have the bandwidth, I will be posting around about it online. My full-time contract is up at the end of May, so it would be great to be in profit by then, but I find that unlikely. So my actual goal is to be in profit in about 3 years' time, and hopefully I get my contract renewed if I need it. In a little bit, I'll give you a breakdown into what my business plan for my first year and moving forward will be. But first, what does this business even look like in the first place? Why am I doing this? Just a little over a year ago, I had a cushy corporate job with benefits. I was maybe 2 years away from breaking the seal on a 6-figure salary. That corporate job was hell. After continually being gaslit, I snapped one day and quit. And the job market is and was terrible. With 9 years of professional experience, it took me over a year to get a job, and that's with sending out dozens of applications every single day. And even then, I got a job from someone I knew. I completely lost hope that a job would ever come. So I turned to Plan B. Well, I researched Plan B. I like to paint, so Plan B has always been to be an artist. Getting into an art show is difficult though, because you have to apply to the ones that they consider good like 6 months in advance, and you already have to have your shit together for the application. That's inventory that takes months, if not years, to accumulate. It has to be pictured in the application, as well as a booth setup that is expensive to get a hold of, even when you get it used. The applications themselves cost money, and the booth fees, not to mention all your infrastructure, your supplies, all of these costs before you even get the opportunity to sell, to see if you can sell, to see if you like selling. So for the last 6 months, while I haven't had a job, I have been researching. I have been painting, I have been printing, I have been applying. I have been spending money that I do not have with no actual assurance that any of it will work out. I did do one art show test run in October where I only broke even, but I had so much fun and everyone was so supportive. And though I've been building this business up for the past 6 months, I'm considering 2024 my first year in business. Primarily because I have only had one test show, and starting this month in January, I have booked 2 to 3 shows every single month all the way out through April. And then the results for the shows up until July are coming in soon. Secretly, I'm considering it my first year because there's something about me that loves the start of a business aligning with the beginning of a year. So that's another factor. And I did finally get that full-time job. It's one that I had 2 jobs ago, and so I know how it goes, what it entails. I'm fully remote, and I can take as much unpaid time off as I need for these shows. Truly, the opening at this place was a blessing. It is a 6-month contract, and we will see where we are then. I definitely need the job right now, though, as I'm paying all of the fees before I have a clientele built up. But I am a little scared about how much work the next 6 months will entail. So for the business plan, my 3-year goal is to be able to make a full-time salary from this business. Where I live, a living salary is about $40,000. My research tells me that the costs of a sustainable business is about 2/3 of sales. 1/3 to go supplies and inventory, 1/3 to infrastructure and marketing, and the last third is an estimate of profit, which will become my salary. That means I may make $120,000 in sales to consider myself to be making a livable wage solely from art. My research also seems to reveal that most artists living like this would attend about 26 shows a year. That means I would need to average about $4,615 of sales per show. That's a rough estimate of the total sales. After I do these shows, I will likely factor each show's expenses and a percentage of infrastructure costs to see my profit on a per show basis. When looking at it this way, I would need to make an average of $1,540 in net profit, that's after expenses, at each of these 26 shows. But that's in 3 years. We're on year 1. I don't have the inventory and infrastructure to get into as many shows I would like. My goal for year 1 is simply to do 26 shows. I will assess the shows, and depending on how well they do, I will only repeat a certain percentage of the top shows I did this year. And I will replace the lower performers with hopefully better shows as my inventory builds. I'm not expecting to make a huge profit on year 1, but I do have the goals of breaking even and being able to pay off that $15,000 worth of debt. That's year 1. That's the whole plan for year 1. Do 26 shows, break even, try to pay off debt. By year 3, I want to be making a livable salary. And I'm even going to spoil you and give you the 5-year plan, which is to make a better salary. At 5 years, I would hope for closer to $60,000 a year. Each year, I plan to grow sales and profit by being more efficient, by knocking off lower performing shows and replacing them with hopefully new ones as I'm able to get into better shows, by building clientele, and by establishing more of an internet presence. So if you want to see me at one of my shows, here's the upcoming schedule. If you just want to know how my first year turns out, stay tuned. I'll keep you posted. My name's Jennifer Herron. Nice to talk to you.